Oh my God. That is crazy.
I don't know how this segment works.
And now it is time for Marvonair's Handicap Hour. We're going to be breaking down all of the NFL games this week, and we are going to start in Seattle on the West Coast. 49ers at Seahawks. Redden, what do you got for this game?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting game. I think it's one of the better games of the week. I'm saying Niners minus 2.5.
And for you, Chase?
Niners minus 2.5. I like that line.
I think you could push that line to probably, I'll go 4.5. I won't give them the 5. But I do think the Niners are better. Obviously, a lot of things going on in that camp with like Christian McCaffrey, potentially what's going on there might be going on. Did they say, or who else was going on IR? It's just a bad situation there. The games aren't going quite their way yet this season, but division rivalry game, I think they're going to be fired up and ready to go. Next game, we got Jags at the Bears. Bears are looking a little bit better than the Jags, I would say. Jags get their first win of the season, I believe. And overall, I'll take this one. I think this is going to be a Bears minus 2.5. I don't even like it that much. I would rather probably go 1.5, but I believe in Caleb Williams more than I believe in Trevor Lawrence at this point. What do you got here, Chase?
I like Chicago a little more. I'd probably go the 4.5 line at Chicago. Jacksonville's not good. Caleb seems to be rolling right now.
I like it. And you, Red?
I'm saying Bears 2.5. I think it's going to be just slightly tighter.
All right, moving on. Next up, we got Bucs at Saints. Saints, Derek Carr suffered a pretty severe oblique injury. That's not great for the Saints moving forward, and the Bucs are relocated due to the hurricane going on down south. This has just got a lot of mess written all over it. Chase, who you got?
Being a Saints fan, Derek Carr being out isn't the greatest for us, but I heard a rumor that Spencer Rattler will be starting, bring in the rookie. I think he adds a little bit more of the running game. He's a little faster than Carr, but yes.
He stinks.
Whoa. You haven't seen him play yet in the NFL.
I saw him play a lot in college, and he stinks.
Anyway, but we obviously liked him because we drafted him for some reason. It'll still be a Bucs line. It'll probably be around 3.5 mark.
Okay, I don't mind that. I personally was thinking it might be a little bit tighter. I'm going to go 1.5.
Yeah, I'll be honest. If Derek Carr was playing, I'd have the Bucs at 3.5. With him not playing, I'm saying Bucs 7.5. I think Spencer Rattler's terrible.
Next up, we got Commanders at Ravens. Interesting game here. A little bit of a battle of the two mobile quarterbacks. I think this one will be really, honestly, might be the game of the week. I think this could be a lot of fun to watch. But the actual game, I think it might not be that close. I might do, I don't know. I was going to go Ravens heavy, but I kind of want to go, so let's go Commanders minus 4.5 here.
Yeah, it's at Baltimore. I'm going to go the other way. I'll go Baltimore minus 2.5. I think they could win by more. This Washington team hasn't played too many great teams recently. The offense looks electric anyway, but high-scoring game, Baltimore.
All right, and Redbone.
Yeah, this is one that I think goes one of two ways. It's either going to be like, oh, okay, welcome back to Earth, Jaden Daniels, or it's going to be like, okay, Jaden Daniels is probably a top 5 quarterback in the league.
Yes.
And if I had to guess, I think it's going to probably be welcome back to Earth, Jaden Daniels.
Regardless, moving forward, we do have a great game in the Cardinals and Packers. Now, who would have thought before the season this would be good? Basically nobody. And I'm going to go Packers minus 3.5. What do you think, Chase?
Yeah, this is a tough one, I'd say. It's almost a pick 'em in my opinion. So I'll go the -1 route. I'll go Green Bay -1 just because it's at home in Green Bay. Seem to be getting their stuff a little better together. So -1 Green Bay.
And Redbone?
Yeah, I think this game's really interesting too because I think we're going to find out one way or the other what these teams are all about. Packers play the Texans next week, so I wonder if it's kind of a look-ahead spot for them, just a little bit. That being said, I'm taking the Cardinals.
Okay, by how much?
Let's say 1.5.
Next up, we got an AFC South showdown between the Colts and the Titans. I think this is either going to be like a 1-point game, or I am going to pick it. It depends on who's playing. If it's Joe Flacco, it's Colts minus 13.5 here.
This game has Joe Flacco, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns written all over it. If Anthony Richardson plays, that opinion is voided. If Joe Flacco plays, I like the Colts minus 5.5.
And he's kind of on a better note now that Flacco's been playing, but it's at Tennessee. Tennessee doesn't look as bad anymore. I'll go Tennessee minus 2.5.
Texans at Patriots. It's Drake May's first start of the year. I am both equally terrified and excited. I think he could absolutely lose all of his limbs. There is that possibility. He could throw for a 900-yard game. That is also a possibility. Or what will more likely happen is he throws 2 picks, about 106 yards, and maybe he rushes in for a touchdown or something crazy. Regardless, I think the Texans win this one 9.5.
Yeah, I actually was thinking the same line as you, 9.5 for the Texans. I think this was a terrible game to start Drake May on. Texans love to get after the quarterback, and that line is awful for the Patriots. So, I mean, I think he gets banged up. Very bad game to start him. He should have waited one more week, and then it would have been a much more favorable matchup for him. So I'll go Houston minus 9.5 as well.
Go ahead, Red.
I'm going a little higher. I just said Houston 11.5. I think Drake May is actually bad. Like,
Wow.
I don't think he's good.
We haven't even seen him play.
Yeah, I watched him play in college. I think he's bad.
Yeah, I think more than anything, I just wasn't prepared mentally. I really thought we were going to be at least 10, 11, 12 weeks into the season before we saw him hit the field. And then it's like, all right, we're going to play a really good AFC team. Let's throw him out there, just see what happens. Like, what? I don't understand the decision-making on that at all. And I said I was equally terrified and excited. I'm just scared at this point. I don't even know if I want to turn the game on, but I inevitably will, and I will regret it, I'm sure. Next up, we got Browns-Eagles. I don't know what to do with this one. What do you make here, Chase?
I think I do know what to do with this one. Cleveland's awful. Deshaun Watson is terrible. Eagles should win this game by a landslide. They haven't looked great this year, but get right game. Cleveland's bad at Philly, just leading up to Eagles minus 6.5.
I said Eagles 4.5 just because I don't think the Eagles are – I don't know if they have that, like, put-them-away power. I think they'll control the majority of this game. And, I mean, it could very well be, like, 28-6.
I thought the same thing. I think that the Browns aren't – they're not going to run away with it, and I don't think they're going to win, but I don't think that the Eagles are going to be able to really run them into the ground. Let's take the Eagles minus 2.5 here. I'm guessing they'll win by a field goal. Next up, we got Chargers-Broncos. This game could be – no, this game's going to be fucking horrible. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to take the Chargers minus – you can't hype up every game, okay? I'm going to take Chargers minus let's go 3.5 here. I don't know if I like that with the hook, obviously. But the way NFL scores fall, sometimes I could see him winning by 4. I don't think Bo Nix is necessarily that good. Chargers defense is okay. Broncos defense obviously is good. I think it'll end up being a low-scoring game, maybe like a 17-13 type deal. What do you got here, Chase?
I agree with you for the most part, but Bo Nix seems to be getting his feet under him a little bit better now. First 3 weeks he was not great. Last 2 he's been pretty solid. I like to pick him almost here again. I'll go -1 Chargers.
Yeah, I'm saying Chargers minus 2.5.
Next up, we got Steelers at Raiders. This will be a bit of a punchy-in-the-mouth type game. I do think it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top here. Gardner Minshew, Najee Harris, Brock Bowers kind of leading the charge here for our, I guess, top 3 guys. I kind of want to take the Raiders, but I don't want it to be a lot. Let's go Raiders -2. I guess I got to add the half. Let's go 1.5. What do you got here, Red?
I'm going Steelers minus 1.5.
Okay.
Solely Mike Tomlin.
Okay, and then Chase?
Same boat as Redden. Mike Tomlin. I'll go -2.5. Give him the field goal.
Next up, we got Falcons at Panthers. Falcons, like I just said, could be pretty good this year. They seem to maybe be right in the ship. Kirko is a surgeon every single week, and the Panthers, I mean, only one win here, not a lot to kind of write home about. I think I'm going to go Falcons -5.5. What do you got here, Red?
Yeah, I'm going Falcons -5.5. The Panthers are terrible.
They're bad.
Andy Dalton's interesting, but they're terrible.
And Chase, your thoughts?
Same boat as you guys. Panthers are bad. Atlanta's frisky. I'll go 6.5 Atlanta.
Cowboys are complete frauds. I think the Lions end up winning this one, let's say 8.5. I don't mind that line at all. Chase, what do you think?
Similar thought. Cowboys are bad. Their defense doesn't look as good as it should be. I don't know if Parsons is going to be back or not. I don't know how much of a difference it makes. That Detroit offense is pretty electric, They can put up a lot of points really fast. I'm just going to go out on a limb and go 10.5 Lions. I like taking an alt spread there because it's probably less than that, but they'll win by a good margin, I think.
I think the Lions are going to run away with this a little bit. What do you think here, Red?
I got a little tighter, 5.5.
Then, yes, we have Bengals at Giants, kind of a bit of a stinker. Chase, what are your thoughts on before the game, before the season, this could have been a good game, but now what we know, it's 1-4 versus 2-3. Like, what are we doing?
I think it's a frisky game, actually. The Giants pulled off a decent upset against Seattle. I think we thought that Seattle would handle that game, but since he looked great last week, you can't take that out. Maybe they're finding their stride a little bit. They did get beat, but I think they handle New York. They need it really bad, so we'll go 5.5 Cincy.
I don't mind that play. Red, what do you got?
I'm going 9.5 Cincy. I think the Giants are terrible, and it feels like Burrow has finally kind of found. We've been talking about it weeks prior. It's like, okay, what's wrong in Cincinnati? What's wrong in Cincinnati? Why don't they look good? They do this every year, though. Like, they seem to just figure it out. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's because they treat the first 4 weeks as like their preseason almost, and they treat the preseason as just like something they have to do. Like, that's just kind of how it feels. So I'm saying Cincy, 9.5, book it.
We got one more game, Monday night. We got Bills at Jets, and Robert Saleh just got fired. So give me the Jets by 7.5. I think that's a fair assessment. They're going to have the juice without Saleh, and obviously the Bills are kind of on fire right now. It's not too bad. I'm surprised that Josh Allen is in concussion protocol. I really thought he would be. So maybe he's still recovering, even though he never was technically in protocol. But I mean, his head bounced like a goddamn basketball off that turf. It was kind of ugly. What do you think here, Chase?
I'm not on the same page as you whatsoever. Saleh getting fired, I don't think it's a great move by New York. It seems early. I don't know if he's the problem. It sounded like the defense was pretty surprised by that move, as of everyone. I like the Bills to win it just because I think the Jets are kind of in shambles right now. They don't know what's going on. Josh Allen takes this team to win by 5.5.
Okay, and Redbone to close us off for week number 6.
I got Buffalo 3.5. I think the Jets are going to come out playing with fire. Everything I've heard about this interim head coach is that he's awesome. So I could see the Jets like being fiery now for at least 2-3 weeks. That seems to be what an interim head coach is good for.
Yeah.
But I think the Bills are just the better team. I still think that they're going to make the playoffs and probably lose to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, if I had to guess. That's kind of just how it tends to go.
Yeah.
So give me the Bills minus 3.5.
Gotcha. And Hunter, to close us off on not only this game, but our whole Week 6 breakdown.
Week 6, a lot of great stuff going to happen. A lot of sugar that you can put down on some of these bets. I would bet more towards Chase and Redbone, maybe stay away from Mark, but who knows how this will work out in the end.